and welcome to Mark Shrimp Tanks. If you're new to the channel and want to learn more about this absolutely awesome shrimp keeping hobby, hit that subscribe button over here and bell notification. This part is particularly important because I've since realized that when you put a new video on YouTube, YouTube does not notify all your subscribers at once, right? So if you want to see all my videos, if you are going to subscribe, hit that bell notification over here, okay? Today's video is going to be about the PAT mini filter of a friend of mine called McMurv Farms. He did a video about this maybe about a month or two ago, and I was so impressed with his video I just had to go out and get one of these little filters and try it for myself. And you know what, guys? His video was absolutely awesome. This is probably one of the best filters I've ever used. Now, I've used tons of filters. You've seen me use all kinds of DIY stuff before, right? And the proof is in the pudding, so to speak. So let me just show you. This tank, sponge filter, mini AquaEl on the top, mini filter on the top, AquaEl. I keep getting that part mixed up. Down here, same in this tank. You can see it past that glare. Here, another one. Here, another one. These filters are absolutely awesome, guys. And another one. Right, so the plan is today, I do have them over here as well. I have one in this tank up there, and one in this tank. And they're not that expensive. They retail for about maybe $15–20 each. And then you have to buy the sponge for the modification. I have these in my shop, by the way, if you're interested in these sponges. My plan today was to add another one of these to this side, right, because this old Eheim is pretty rubbish, right? It is a pain in the butt to clean because it's specifically, it's not really designed for shrimp. As you can see, I've modified it quite a bit, but it is just too hard for me to clean. So we're going to switch over to this mini AquaEl filter with this little mod on the right, and I'm going to show you how to do that mod as well. So full credit goes to my friend, Mr. McMurv. And this is the filter here, AquaEl. I don't know if a lot of people would say AquaEl. I say AquaEl. This filter is absolutely open. This one's never been opened either, so let's see. Do I have to cut the tape of it? Maybe. The wonders of YouTube when you have no hand available to do things like that. You know what I'm going to do, guys? Right, I'm going to pause the video just for a second, and I'm going to strap you to my chest, and then we're going to go right into this little bit of DIY. This filter is awesome. You will love this. Thank you. Okay, guys, so we are now in DIY two-handed mode. This makes the job so much easier. But this is basically the box that you get. There's a lot of extras with this. You got a hanger, an easy mount that goes in the back as well. You got an adjustable airflow. You can also get a UV sterilizer for this, and a sprinkle spray bar, which is for this little filter is absolutely awesome. Absolutely. Right, so I'm going to show you what's in the box first. You have your little power head, basically. You have your little power head. These are made in Poland, I do believe, so the quality is quite decent. Where is the? I think I'm missing it. Am I missing? No, I'm not. I thought I was missing a part here, but we don't need this sponge here because this sponge is too thick. The PPI of the sponge is far too big for us to really keep shrimp with, so this one I won't throw away, but we can use for something else. And then this jumbled mess here is how we put together our filter, right? So for our filter, we don't need to use any of these other parts here, right? So I'm just going to put anything that I don't need to the side. This is an extra filter that you can pay for to come with your mini AquaEl if you want it to be shrimp safe. So this is a shrimp safe filter, so I'll keep this one. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is add the little spray nozzle that can go into the front. And this adds extra oxygen, etc. Right, and I've noticed with the bend, you will get a piece of pipe with this. Put it so the bend goes to the back like this, because then it goes out of your tank and not into the tank, okay? It also doesn't need to be that length. You put on your little adjuster for your air, like so. I have mine so it is open fully. I don't mind the noise. I'm in a shrimp room, so I'm just going to quickly take off this little cable tie here. And this is a European plug as well. A lot of the stuff I buy from eBay, etc., always has like Chinese plugs, etc., on them, and I always have to do some kind of DIY thing to them. So the fact that this has a European plug on it is like a godsend for me. Okay, let's aim you down a little bit more, right? So the mod for this is this power head here will fit onto the top of this filter here, right? And it's as simple as this. You take off the directional flow off your extra large sponge filter. Right, you can throw that away if you want. Right, and then you must pull off this top part with the suction cup on it, because we are going to need to do something here first before we can use this. Here you can see where the air goes into the filter, and once the power head, etc., is on this, what will happen is the water will try and be sucked into this air pipe here. You see it? So we need to modify this a little bit so that no air can go into it, right? So the best way I found is take a pair of pliers, cut the pipe in half like this, right, and then use a lighter and just gently heat up the end. Try and do it so that the flame is further away from it as well, because that way you don't get the plastic burning. Right, and as soon as you start to see the end melting and bending in a little bit, put it against a hard surface like this and press your pliers against the top. Just hold it there for a few seconds. And what this will do is it will close the top of the pipe. Alright, you see that? It's closed now. It's not a pretty job, but it does. It's a suffice for this. Alright, and then this part, this is another thing I love about this extra large sponge filters with this kind of configuration, is you can actually move all this stuff. Push your little connector back in, like so. Make sure it's all the way in, guys. You don't want it falling back out again. There is the basis of our filter. As you go, try and straighten up all the pipes, etc., because it's easier to do it now than it is later when you're in the tank, okay? So then you need to add on your second suction cup again, like so. It just pushes on, put it in as hard as you can, and then your filter, your little power head, your little AquaEl pop mini filter, more or less fits directly on the end, right? So this just happens to be the perfect fit for the sponge filter, right? So you push it on like this, give it a little bit of turn, squeeze, push in. Okay, and that is it basically. There you have your filter. I hope I can get all this in the shot. And basically this sticks to the glass, this sucks in air. This is a wonderful filter, guys, right? So what you do after this is you go over to your tap, rinse your sponges. You should always do this with new sponges because you don't know what these have been treated with beforehand. And then place in the aquarium. So we're going to do that now. 1 second. Alright, so that is the filter in the tank. Let's have a little look at it. What do you think of that, guys? Isn't that really, really cool? Look how strong it is as well. And this little filter is, I think it's about 3 or 4 watts. I wonder if we can see on the box. Mini, does it say? It probably says on the side of the fill pump actually itself. Somewhere it will say, it's probably only 3 or 4 watts, and that is a lot of power for something so small. Okay, so kudos to McMurv for sharing that video he did. I'll leave a link in the first comment of the video and I'll pin it so it's always there. One of the other great things about this filter, guys, I want to mention just before we go is when you do water changes and stuff, it is quite often necessary to clean the sponge filter. With this, because there's 2, you can just clean 1. You don't need to clean 2. So there's no risk of you losing a lot of beneficial bacteria, because they still will be in one of the filters. Okay, you can actually see here I've actually put a little bit of bacteria on top of this one. But these filters are so good. The idea is so good, I mean to say that I've actually done it on all of them. I showed you before. It doesn't have to be the Pot Mini filter, but they are my preferred little filter just because they are so strong. This is another filter I've DIY'd into this. Same with this little one here. You can see it's barely in the water, but it works. I'm just going to show you this before I go because I've noticed all my cherries in this tank all coming out for dinner. Hello Mark, dinner time! Okay guys, so thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please give me a big thumbs up and I'll catch you in the next one, okay? Happy shrimp keeping!